Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today's video is going to be on logs or logarithms. What is a logarithm? Well, a logarithm is like this thing, like this. It is written as log, which indicates logarithm, and then they have a base number. For, in this case, we'll make it 2. So base number of 2. And then they have, like, the answer, which will make 4. So here we want to work out what log base 2, 4 equals. So this is going to equal 2. So it's basically asking 2 to the power of what equals 4. 2 to the power of 2 equals 4. So that's what that is. Now let's say you get an equation like this. Log, and then you get a base number, let's say 4. Then we'll go x. So this here is asking, we'll just say, for this we'll say 3. So it's asking, what is 4 to the power of 3. So if it's like this, it means that 4 to the power of 3 equals x. So what does x equal? X is going to equal 4 to the power of 3, which means that x is equal to 64. So that means that in this case, x equals 64. So what happens if you get an equation? What happens if you get a log like this? Log 1000. What are you going to do now? Well, if there is no base number, it is assumed to be 10. So imagine that there is a 10 there. So how many times is 10 multiplied by 10 to get 1000? 10 times 10 is 100. So that means that 10 times 10 times 10 is 1000. Another way you can remember it is by the zeros. So as this has 3 zeros, 1000, 1, 2, 3, that means that it is 10 to the power of 3. So that is some basic logs. Okay. Next we're going to talk about natural logs. Natural logs are different. They are written like this. Instead of log. And a natural log, when left blank here, it doesn't equal 10 anymore. It equals e. So the natural log of x to the, let's say, 5th is, that means that in this case, x equals e to the 5th. So, I mean, it's pretty hard to do this without a calculator. So, you can just use a calculator, or you can just write it like this. If you don't have a calculator, this should be enough. Okay, now we're going to do some equations with these logs. Okay, my first equation for you is this. Okay, log 2 16 log 3 27 log how about 7 of 1, and that's it. So I want you to work out what these are equal to. Go ahead and pause the video so you can work these out. Okay, so log 2 of 16 is how many 2's have to be multiplied by 2 to get 16. 2 times 2 is 4, and then times 2 is 8, and then times 2 is 16. So this is equal to 4. Great. Okay, now how many times is 3 multiplied to get 27? 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 times 3 equals 27. So that means 3. 3 to the third is 27. Now what about log base 7 is 1? So to do this, it's actually 0. Because remember that when anything is to the power of 0, it just equals 1. Okay, now let's move on to some harder equations. Or just to the next part. Okay, so in logs, log 10 of, let's say, log base 10 of 10. So this is going to equal 1. But what about log base 10 of 0.01? What is this equal to? Well, in this case, it's going to be equal to -2. Because 10 to the negative second is 0.01. Another way you can do this is count up the zeros, and that will give you the negative this time. It's a negative as it is below 1, and it is to the 100th. Great. So our next few questions I'm going to ask you are these. Log So what is this equal to? Log. What is this equal to? And let me go. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and work these out. Okay, so to work out log base 10 of 10,000, we count up the zeros. That's the way we can do it. So that means it will equal 4. Then we'll just go ahead and put in the base 10s because it's been left blank. So we'll count up the zeros and then take that and make it negative. So log base 10 of 0.0001 is going to be -4. Great. Now, log 10 of 0.1 is actually going to be -1. Okay, so those are some log base 10 questions. Now, we're going to move on to questions that are... Okay, I'm going to give you some more questions now. Okay, what if I were to give you these? Log base 3 of 9. What does this equal? And then log base 3 of 1/9. And log base 3 of, or how about log base 9 of 3? Log base 9 of 3. And log base 9 of 1/3. How about that? Okay, so here we are going. So log base 3 of 9 is pretty simple. It is just 2. And then log base 3 of 1 over 9 equals -2. Okay, now it's getting a bit harder. There's a larger base number than the answer. So this is going to be 1 over 2. So because it's 1 over 2, it's basically asking square root of 9 equals what? And then, so that means that, and the square root of 9 we know it equals 3. So that's why 9 to the square root, or 9 to the half, is 1 over 2, is 3. Okay, now what about 9 1 over 3? What do we do here? Well, this is going to equal -1 over 3. The reason, 1 over 2, sorry. The reason it is like this is because if you take a look here at the 3 1 over 9, it is actually a negative. So if we basically do the same thing, we get this, -1 over 2. So this is the answer. Remember, guys, that if the base number is larger than this number, it's going to be a fraction. Okay, well, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll probably make more videos on this, because this was a very brief way of doing it. So in the next one, I'll cover more equations, and I'll talk about logarithms being used in different equations and adding them and subtracting them. So see you in the next one.